Hello class and welcome to Module 4. My name is Professor Albert Lopez. This slide establishes how criminal street gangs are formally defined and why consistent data collection matters. Federal agencies define gangs as organized groups of 3 or more individuals engaged in criminal activity that creates fear, intimidation, or violence. Using standardized definitions allow law enforcement agencies nationwide to compare trends and identify patterns. The major data sources include the FBI Incident-Based Reporting System, the National Gang Intelligence, and the National Youth Gang Survey. Together, these sources show that gang activity is not isolated but widespread across jurisdictions. Understanding definitions and data limitations is essential because reported incidents reflect only known cases and not total prevalence, meaning actual gang activity is likely higher. Okay, this slide presents the national picture of gang activity between 2021 and 2024. While gang-related incidents represent less than 1% of all reported crimes, their impact is disproportionately violent. The data shows tens of thousands of incidents reported by thousands of agencies, indicating that gang violence is a persistent nationwide issue rather than a localized problem. Rates fluctuated slightly over the period, peaking early and declining modestly in 2024. Such trends may reflect changes in reporting participation, policing strategies, or actual shifts in gang behavior. Even small rate changes can translate into significant real-world harm because gang incidents often involve weapons, organized retaliation, and ongoing criminal enterprises. This slide examines the types of crimes and weapons most commonly associated with gang incidents. Aggravated assault dominates reported offenses, highlighting the central role of direct interpersonal violence in gang activity. Weapon data revealed that firearms and personal weapons account for the overwhelmingly majority of incidents, showing that gang violence often occurs at close range and with lethal potential. This pattern reflects territorial disputes, retaliation cycles, and confrontations between rival groups. Understanding of offense patterns helps law enforcement allocate resources, prioritizing interventions and design prevention strategies. It also underscores the heightened risk to bystanders and communities when conflicts escalate quickly and involve easily accessible weapons. This slide focuses on the demographic characteristics of victims and offenders in gang incidents. Adolescents and young adults are disproportionately affected, both as perpetrators and victims, indicating that gang involvement is primarily a youth-driven phenomenon. Males represent the majority of offenders. Through both genders experience victimization. Importantly, most victims know their attacker, suggesting that violence often occurs within social networks rather than random encounters. This reinforces the idea that gang crime is closely tied to local disputes, personal relationships, and retaliation cycles. Demographic data help policymakers and community organizations target prevention efforts toward at-risk youth populations. This slide examines long-term demographic trends in gang membership. Over time, adult participation has increased, surpassing juvenile membership in many areas. This shift suggests that gangs are becoming more stable organizations rather than temporary youth groups. Racial and ethnic patterns show that certain communities are disproportionately affected, often reflecting broader social inequities. immigration patterns, and urban conditions. However, gangs exist across all demographic groups and geographic regions. Understanding these trends is critical for developing effective prevention and intervention strategies because adult members frequently occupy leadership roles and sustain gang operations over long periods. This slide highlights broader crime trends associated with gangs. National estimates suggest over 1 million gang members across tens of thousands of groups, including street gangs, prison gangs, and outlaw motorcycle gangs. In many jurisdictions, gangs are responsible for a significant portion of violent crime, sometimes the majority. Modern gangs are increasingly sophisticated, collaborating with transitional criminal organizations and diversifying into crimes such as human trafficking, identity theft, and financial fraud. These activities generate substantial profit while reducing risk compared to traditional street crimes. The data illustrates that gangs function as organized criminal enterprises rather than loosely connected groups. This slide addresses the intersection between gangs and the military. Some gang members enlist to gain combat training, weapons familiarity, and tactical skills that can later be used in criminal activity. Reports indicate that members of numerous gangs have served in the armed forces, creating concerns about knowledge transfer to street-level operations. Screening challenges and limited information sharing between agencies can allow affiliations to go undetected. Document cases include weapons theft, drug trafficking, using military logistics, and violent assaults. While most service members serve honorably, the presence of even a small number of trained gang members can increase the potential for highly organized and lethal criminal behavior. This slide examines the broader community impact of gang activity and the responses used to counter it. Gang presence often correlates with increased violence, drug distribution, and intimidation within neighborhoods, contributing to fear and reduced quality of life. Many violent incidents occur between individuals who know each other, perpetrating cycles of retaliation. In response, federal and local agencies use task force, intelligence sharing, and targeted operations to disrupt gang networks. Military policies also prohibit service members' participation in gangs. Effective responses require cooperation across agencies and community partners, combining enforcement with prevention strategies to address the root causes of gang recruitment. Okay, class, this concludes Module 4. Please do not forget, turn in your initial posts by Wednesday and respond to 3 others by Sunday evening. If you have any questions, remember you can reach out to me by emailing me. Have a wonderful day or a wonderful week.